Is Castlevania 2 as bad as they say it is? I don't know, to be honest. I haven't played this game in about 15 years, if I had to guess. I'm Lethal One. I play video games. If you're new here, I want to go ahead and give you a little quick history. My channel originally was supposed to be retro only. I branched out to modern games, and now I'm back to retro. So we'll call this the return of Nintendo Glenndo. Anyway, here we are, Castlevania 2. I'll try to explain the game and the story if you haven't played it. So this is Castlevania 2. I'm Simon Belmont. He's the hero from part 1. After Simon Belmont killed Dracula, Dracula put a curse on him, and the only way to get rid of the curse is to resurrect Dracula and then kill him again. Yeah, I know, that's pretty brutal. So this is the first town. As you can see, I'm avoiding talking to any NPCs because it's a waste of time. No one says anything useful, really. And this track right here is the best track in any Castlevania, Bloody Tears. Alright, I gave you a moment to listen to that masterpiece. So what sets this apart from Castlevania 1, as you can see in the beginning, we had a town. Castlevania 1 didn't have that. Castlevania 1 was more of a point A to point B game. It didn't have levels and towns, and you didn't have to buy anything. All of that changed in this game. So you basically, it has RPG elements, which is good and bad, because basically there's no way to really proceed throughout the game without grinding some. So that's what I'm doing now. There is 3 items in the first town. Only 2 items really are important. 2 items you have to get or you can't proceed. The one thing that I need to get is the holy water. Oh, and this is the infamous day to night transition screen. Everyone hates this. You can't fast forward it. And what happens when it becomes night is the curse becomes stronger, the enemies become stronger, but at the same time you get rewarded more. If you notice, they drop in half of hearts, which is worth like 5. Well, they're not dropping anything. Alright, so as I stated before, the first item I want to get is the holy water, and the second item I would like to get is the white crystal. You have to get that in order to proceed to the first mansion. I'm gonna go and head back into town. The thing about nighttime, besides, you know, everything being stronger, the stores are closed, the church is closed, and you have to just you have to endure the night. These guys are so evil, they just lock Simon out. You would think they would let him in, but nope, stay outside. And what's even worse is the church won't even let you in. Now, I could make a Joel Osteen joke, but I won't do it. I don't think that would be tasteful. So I'm gonna go ahead and survive out the night, try to grind away. I would need 100 hearts. And if I haven't mentioned it before, the hearts are currency in this game, which is weird, I know. I'm gonna go and try to get as many hearts as I can. So far, so good. They're being pretty generous, I think. So this game, out of the 3 NES games, is the black sheep of the series. Everyone seems to think this is the worst Castlevania. I don't know. I like all Castlevanias. I don't look at good and bad. I look at it as this game is different. Just like the Mario Brothers. Mario Brothers 2 was different, but still pretty good. You know, you had Link, which was Zelda 2. That was different, but still pretty good. In this game, I don't know which one came out first between Link and this, but this game is very similar to Zelda 2. Now, I said all of that to say this. I mean, Castlevania 2 may be the black sheep, but without Castlevania 2, there will be no Castlevania Symphony of the Night. Because Castlevania Symphony of the Night just took everything from this game and just made it better. This pioneered Castlevania Symphony of the Night, which is regarded as the best Castlevania ever made. It's not my favorite, but my favorite would be Castlevania 4, Super Castlevania 4. It was just more fun to me. I like games that take skill. You don't have to rely on grinding and leveling up, which makes the game a little easier. Okay, we survived the night. Let's see how we did. I did way better than what I thought. Alright, so we can get both items. Like I stated earlier, there's 3 items. The holy water, that's the first item. Then this guy right here has the white crystal. There's also a thorn whip. I don't think anyone ever gets the thorn whip because for the price of it, which is 100 hearts, it doesn't give you a boost in damage. It's not worth it in boost in damage. For 50 hearts more, you can get the chain whip, and that's a big boost in damage. So we're just gonna go ahead and try to head to the second town, and we're gonna get 2 items from there as well, which would be the chain whip and it will be the dagger. Let me say this, the sub weapons in this game are terrible. I think Castlevania 2 not only pioneered Castlevania Symphony of the Night, but it pioneered the nerf, because the items are nerfed so bad. Oh, that right there, that was a level up. I think there's 5 levels in the game, and I think you need all 5 levels to get the good ending, which I don't think I've ever done. Being real careful here. I don't want to get knocked into the water. Simon can fight super strong enemies, but he can't swim. Which is, I don't know, if I was Dracula, I would just probably hide my castle inside of a lake or something, and Simon would never be able to touch him. Anyway, that's pretty dumb. But down those stairs is the second town. That down there at the bottom of my feet is grape soda. I'm gonna head into the second town pretty soon. Unfortunately, we're gonna have to grind one more night. Oh, at least I didn't drown, but it's still poisonous, and it made me miss my heart. Now, what I was saying about the sub-weapons is the dagger. I never used a dagger in part 1, but the dagger on here is even worse. It's slower, it does less damage, and the holy water, goodness gracious. The holy water is like throwing a baby bottle. Like seriously, like you just throw a bottle, it hits the enemy and that's it. Like in Castlevania 1, it will hit the enemy, a little fire would spark on the ground and it will stun the enemy in place. It was really powerful. On here, you get none of that, and you'll see it later. The holy water has 2 uses though, and that's why you want to get it early. I don't think you have a choice, you have to get it. And I'll show you those 2 uses when it comes to it. Comes to the part that I need them. That's the one thing about this game. I don't know. It's not really good to play a game where you have to, you know, grind out and you don't have a choice. Speak of the devil. Literally. If all goes well, this will be the last time you would see me grinding. Let's go ahead and head into the second town. I was thinking about something. These towns don't have a name to them or anything. They're just here. Like nobody cares. Unless, oh, wait a minute. I never even knew you can read those signs. So here's the church, locked out. Every time I think about that, I think about the Houston situation. Alright, so as you can see, the zombies in this town is way stronger. It takes 4 whips to kill them. If I would have had the thorn whip, it would have took 3, which isn't really worth it at all. Oh goodness. You see, dropped a heart. A half a heart. So once we get the 2 items out of here, I really don't need the daggers that much. I mean, I want to be a completionist and get them. If I don't have enough, you know, for both, of course I'm gonna go with the chain whip. Way more worth it. After we get the chain whip, we're gonna head to the mansion. And in this game, the mansions are like dungeons. So, and you know how dungeons are. You fight a boss, and that's it. In this game, unfortunately, there's no boss. There's really, I think there's what, 3 bosses in this game total? I believe this game was severely rushed. It's not like today's games where you can put out a half-done product and then, you know, patch it on day 1. When you ran out of time with Nintendo, things got cut, things got half done, and that's Castlevania 2. This could have been such a great title, I think. I think Castlevania 1 was such a big success that Nintendo was like, hey, we need a second one right away. But what I was saying about the mansions is it's kind of funny. There's no boss. I know I said that already. The game is called Castlevania. That's one thing. So the introduction to mansions was just weird to me. Like, I thought, you know, you would go into castles because, you know, this is Castlevania, not Mansionvania. Okay, that was a terrible joke. I try to be funny sometimes, and sometimes I try too hard. But back into the gameplay. So far, I'm pretty beat up right now, but they are dropping some decent hearts. Oh goodness, look at this. Trouble. We're gonna definitely need a trip to the church after this. Right on time. The timing is perfect. See how we did. Oh man, we racked up pretty good. So, we actually can get both items from here. We don't have to worry about this town ever again. Full health, things are great. We're gonna head over to the right side of town. If you guys are into this series, let me know if you want me to talk to the NPCs so you can laugh at the dialogue. I mean, I don't mind doing that. Alright, so here's the first use of the holy water. It can break blocks. Now, in the other Castlevanias, you can whip a wall, get some ham, some pork chops out of it. In this game, you need the holy water to do that. I don't know why they changed it to that. So that's why you would need to get the holy water, because if you didn't have it, then you couldn't get the chain whip or any other item in the game. So here's the chain whip. You can see the power coursing through the whip. That's amazing. It does a lot of damage too. Alright, so we're gonna head to the left side of town and grab the dagger. I get so scared every time I try to jump over the water. The jump in this game is just ridiculous. Alright, so here is the dagger. Now I know what you're thinking. How are you supposed to know that there's a hidden wall there? I didn't know. I think somebody in school told me, you know, you can use the holy water in that one town and get a dagger out of the wall. Like, I would have never known that. Like, they have secrets hidden within the towns, and that's a problem with Castlevania 2 as well, as it's really cryptic. Alright, so it won't be long now before we get to the mansion. See, the jumps are so finicky, especially when you jump attack. That was too close. Thought I was going in the water. Alright, we're at the first almost called it castle. First mansion. So this is why you need the white crystal. Okay, let me see. Can I deselect it? I don't think you can. Anyway, without the white crystal, you will not get this moving platform, which means you can't proceed through the first mansion. To my amazement as a kid, I mean, I made it. No! Okay, holy water. Oh. Well, in that case, the dagger actually was pretty useful. Need to switch back to holy water, though. So, like I was stating before, as a kid and not, you know, having a guide or Nintendo Power or anything like that, a lot of this stuff is really cryptic, and that caused a uproar, basically. And I think that just killed the momentum of Castlevania 2. This could have been a great... Darn it, they came back. This game isn't nearly as hard as Castlevania 1 as far as, like, you know, skill, like a skill-based game. It's hard because it's more cryptic in Castlevania 1. You have to get really lucky. Now, I don't know if you guys have noticed, when I killed that demon, it dropped a full heart. So the mansions are really the best place to farm. You know, it's the ideal place to farm. I don't do that. I don't want to spend my time farming. So now we're to the second use of the holy water, which I hinted at earlier. This game likes to have illusion blocks. These things are respawning like really quick. Even if it dropped a heart, I wasn't going back. So you have to throw holy water to find out which blocks are real. See, right there. See, the holy water is going right through. So the first two blocks are illusions, and we want to jump at the edge to get up here. It's pretty tedious, and I don't understand why they would put that in the game. I mean, it slows the game down tremendously. That guy down there, he sells one of the most important items in the mansion, and I'll explain. In Castlevania 1, when you get to the end of a stage, you fight a boss. If you beat the boss, an orb drops down from the screen. You touch the orb, it refills your health, and then you're on to the next stage. In this game, there's an orb just sitting there. There's no bosses, like I stated earlier, and you can't just walk up and touch it. You actually have to buy an oak stake from the guy that's hidden in the mansion. Luckily, that one was in plain sight. Costs 50 hearts. And once you get that oak stake, you go up to the orb, you shoot it, don't miss, because if you miss, you have to come back and find this guy and spend more money. And, you know, then you can collect whatever items inside of the orb, which is Dracula's body parts. Destroy the curse, and you'll rule Bram's mansion. Bram's. Like, Bram Stoker, I'm guessing. Kind of funny how they link this with the old horror movies. Okay, so we're approaching the end of the first mansion. And I remember this part clearly. One of these blocks is an illusion. If you fall down this block, there it is. Oh, okay, so that one's a terrible one, because if you fall down there, you have to go all the way back to the beginning of the mansion and make your way all the way back here. There's the orb. See? Like if you was like, oh, there's the orb. That was me trying to make the Castlevania 1 victory screen. You now possess Dracula's rib. Possess. You know, it just baffles me that they never remade this game. They should have redone Castlevania 2. They redid Castlevania 1. That's what Super Castlevania 4 is. They should have remade this game. This game had so much potential in it. But okay, guys, what I want to do in this series, I want to try to complete one mansion each video. So I believe there's 4 mansions plus Dracula's castle. And, you know, like I said, complete one mention. If you guys really enjoy this series, I really would appreciate it, you know, if you give me a like. That way I know I should go ahead and continue. Actually, no, I'm going to continue anyway because I'm enjoying playing the game. But thank you guys ahead of time, and I hope I see you on the next video. Peace.